For all your t-shirt needs, check out TeePublic's Killer Selection. Follow the link in the description. Hey, what's up, people? Pizzal here, and today I want to talk to you guys about the new Umbrella Entertainment Blu-ray release for 1982's The Beastmaster. Now, this is partially going to be a review of the movie as well as a review of this Blu-ray release. And The Beastmaster was one of those movies that was constantly on cable television when I was growing up. If it wasn't on TBS, it was on USA. If it wasn't on USA, it was on HBO. As a matter of fact, one comic, and I don't recall their name, famously said that HBO stood for "Hey, Beastmaster's on." But this was a movie that was just constantly on cable television when I was growing up, and it seems like I watched it just about every single time that it was on television. This is just one of my favorite movies from childhood. This movie has it all in it that you could possibly want out of a sword and sorcery or sword and sandal Bronze Age kind of movie. And it was the longest time before I sort of took note to the fact that this movie was directed by Don Coscarelli. Now, I knew of Don Coscarelli, of course, from Phantasm, but it wasn't until years after I'd seen and become a fan of Phantasm that I actually sort of paid attention to the credits on Beastmaster during one of its many cable television runs, and I was like, hey, Don Coscarelli, that name sounds familiar. Isn't that's the Phantasm guy? So he does horror movies like Phantasm that are awesome, and he does these kinds of fantasy movies which are freaking awesome. And The Beastmaster is about a young man named Dar, played by Mark Singer, who has a almost supernatural kinship with animals. He can speak to them. He understands them. He can see through their eyes. He can control animals. That's why they call him the Beastmaster. Well, one day Dar's village is plundered and all of his kin are killed by the Jun Horde, who at the time, keep in mind, I was a kid and I was watching a lot of WWF, and my favorite tag team was Demolition. Now, the Jun Horde in Beastmaster look an awful lot like the Demolition from WWF back in the day. So that, of course, also endeared me to the Beastmaster. But after his village is destroyed and all of his people are killed, he seeks out to avenge them by destroying the Jun Horde and the evil priest Mayax, played by Rip Torn. And I can remember Rip Torn's name from the credits. I couldn't quite recall Don Coscarelli's name when I was a kid, but Rip Torn's name definitely stood out to me, and I kind of recall reading that name off the credits and going, Rip Torn? That can't be the guy's real name. Rip Torn, really? Really? But this is just an awesome fantasy sword and sorcery, sword and sandal movie. You've got a great cast. You've got the lovely Tanya Roberts, who plays a beautiful slave girl who Mark Singer's character hooks up with, and then they hook up with two pilgrims who find their way to the evil Mayax, and all sorts of awesome battle sequences and sword and sorcery and sword and sandals combined with lots of cute animals like ferrets, and I was going to say hawks and tigers. I don't know if hawks and tigers are necessarily cute, but the ferrets are at least cute. And Tanya Roberts, quite cute too. But this is just such a good movie. As with a lot of Don Coscarelli movies, he does so much with so little. This was a low budget movie, but much like Phantasm or John Dies at the End, he's sort of the king of making a small budget movie feel like an epic. And Beastmaster definitely feels like an epic. And there's so much imagination and creativity in the Beastmaster as well. With the characters, you've got these three like witch characters who are, from the neck down, they're 10s. From the neck up, they're like negative 10s. You've got these awesome like bird creatures who they wrap you up in their fleshy wings and like digest you, and when they're done, it's just a puddle of goop and some bones. You've got these people, I don't know if you can even call them people, death guards. Just a lot of creativity and a lot of imagination went into Beastmaster, and again on I would say a modest budget, and Don Coscarelli gets the most out of this modest budget. The production value is fantastic, the sets are fantastic, the movie looks great. They actually got Stanley Kubrick's cinematographer to shoot the Beastmaster. It's just all around an awesome movie. I love the Beastmaster. I can't say enough great things about it. If you were like me growing up in the 80s and early 90s, I'm sure you are very, very familiar with the Beastmaster. Again, it was one of those movies that was constantly on television, and I just love everything about this freaking movie. This Blu-ray release from Umbrella Entertainment, the back of it doesn't say anything about any kind of elaborate transfer or restoration, but the picture quality and the sound quality are both, I would say, okay to good. The picture quality kind of fluctuates depending on the sequence. If there are a lot of like really fast motion sequences, like the from the bird's point of view flying around, or just where the camera is moving really quickly, you get this weird kind of pixely blur effect going on. But there are a lot of really great looking scenes in this movie. It really depends on it really kind of depends on the scene, to be perfectly honest, as far as what the picture quality is like. Still, overall, the picture quality is not bad at all. I would give it probably a 3 out of 5. Same for the sound quality, about a 3 out of 5. As far as extras are concerned, we have the Saga of Beastmaster. It's 57 minutes and 29 seconds in length. This is an extra that was actually originally on the 2005 Anchor Bay release of the Beastmaster. It features interviews with Don Coscarelli, writer-producer Paul Pepperman, production designer Conrad E. Angone, actors Mark Singer, Tanya Roberts, and Josh Milrad. Don Coscarelli discusses his love of the horror, sci-fi, and fantasy films of his youth, including sword and sandal movies. He discusses dropping out of college in order to make his first film, Jim the World's Greatest, and how that led to Kenny and Company and eventually Phantasm. Coscarelli and Pepperman discuss the inception of the Beastmaster and writing the script, and how none of the studios they pitched the film to were really interested. They discuss location scouting, set building, and financing the movie. Mark Singer discusses being cast in the film as the Beastmaster. Tanya Roberts discusses getting cast in the film as well. They discuss bringing on John Alcott, Stanley Kubrick's DP, to shoot the film, and what a big get that was for them. They discuss casting Rip Torn, who wanted to play the villain like a turkey vulture. If you've ever noticed in the film, he's got this beak-like nose. They just kind of let him run with it. You want a fake beak-like nose, you want to play the character like a turkey vulture, go for it. They discuss the stunts in the film and how they were choreographed and orchestrated. They discuss working with the animals, the bear, the tiger. Don Coscarelli wanted a Black Panther, but he was told that Black Panthers are a little skittish, so they got a Bengal tiger and just dyed it black. Also the ferrets, but there were certain restrictions with the animals. The tiger couldn't be in the same scene as the ferrets because the tiger would eat the ferrets. the tiger couldn't be in the same scene as like the hawk because the tiger would eat the hawk, but then the hawk couldn't be in the same scenes with the ferrets because the hawk would eat the ferrets and so on. And also the young man, the young boy who's in the film, he could not be in the same scene with the tiger unless the tiger was like tied down to something. The boy was a certain number of feet away from the tiger, and there was someone on set with a 30-06 rifle just in case the tiger went after the boy. Mark Singer discusses bonding with the tiger, whose name was Kipling, during the film. Mr. Angon discusses the work that went into the film sets and props. They discuss how production had to be halted at one point because wind destroyed a lot of the sets. They discuss the battle scene at the end of the film and how they pulled off all the stunts and fight sequences with the extras, the horses, the fire, etc. Don Coscarelli discusses being barred from the editing room by the financial backers at the very end of the film, so he could not supervise the edit of The Beastmaster. They discuss the film not being marketed well and not doing well at the box office upon its initial release, but how the film found a life on video and cable television. We also get an audio commentary with Don Coscarelli and Paul Pepperman. I watched pretty much the entire film with their commentary. Very informative, very entertaining commentary. Between the commentary and this extensive making of featurette, basically anything and everything that you could possibly want to know about the making of The Beastmaster is on these two extras, and these are the only two extras on this disc, but really it's kind of more than enough. Everything and anything you could possibly want to know about the Beastmaster is on these two extras. This is a very nice Blu-ray release from the fine folks over at Umbrella Entertainment for the Beastmaster. If you've not seen the Beastmaster, by all means go out and check out the Beastmaster. This Blu-ray would be a great way to introduce yourself to the film. If you're a fan of the Beastmaster, by all means, look into picking up this Blu-ray from Umbrella Entertainment and adding it to your collection. The extras are fantastic. They are ported over from the Anchor Bay DVD release, however, and the picture quality and the sound quality, as I said, are both okay to good. I'd give them both a 3 out of 5. So yeah, I definitely recommend the Beastmaster, and I recommend this Blu-ray from the folks over at Umbrella Entertainment. If you're a fan of the Beastmaster, please let me know about it down in the comments section below. If you like this video, please leave it a thumbs up. If you're not following me on social media, those links are in the description. They're also right around here. As always, thanks so much for watching. I really appreciate it. Take care, and until next time, peace. Join the $1 a month club and help support my channel on Patreon. Thank you to my current patrons: Kevin Smythe, Orc145626, B-Movie Mike, Stephen Flanagan, Lori Holt, Mitch Odell, Craig Farrand, Robert Sobel, Farron Sutton, Jeremiah Lambert, Turi Delamore, Joseph Charlesworth, Grindhouse Grotto, Derek Jana, PB Sam 6, Demon Waffles, Tim Williams, Stone Gassman, Zachary Barton, and Mr. Bibby 86. Say hello to the internet, Jeremy.
Hello to the internet.